What's up, everybody?
Good afternoon,
Hi,
Vigo's
Vader.
Court. Hi, Vader. I don't know who we're not seeing right now. It's fine. We're fine. We're good. We're good. Hey guys. All right. Sorry, we're dealing with a few technical issues right now, so please be patient with us. But we are gonna get our show started since we're already here with your lovely faces. I am your judge, Judge Shep. I've got with me for the first time. I'm really excited to work with you, Counselor Fear the Dark Wolf.
Well,
What do you think?
hello. You ready for this holiday season? We're
And Dud.
absolutely. I'm looking forward to today's game. But before we get into that, how excited are you that they added that new element of snowmen into the game? Another
Oh my.
mechanic to kind of mess around with.
So all I do whenever I play pubs now is I spend my entire match in a snowman. I'm like, I don't care for anything else. I'm gonna be in the snowman and I'm gonna vibe. Like I'm just here to have a good time, even if I'm not here for a long time. So
Right?
how are
I
you liking the winter event?
I haven't done it on Survivor side yet. I've been just messing around with my Huntress, and I like and hate them because I can never tell if someone's in them or not. But kind of cool, Hunters can just throw a hatchet at it, so I don't really got to go over there. But you can,
Yeah.
if people jump in it, you can hit them with a hatchet and it'll down them before they are fully in it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I noticed that the snowmen don't respect or the M2s don't respect the snowmen. It's just the M1, I think, because you
Yeah,
do the same thing with Pyramid Heads M2 as well. You just right underneath them, smack them.
yeah, I think it's pretty cool mechanic.
I think it's very fun.
I think I've seen a couple people who have done some looping as snowmen videos and stuff, just kind of memeing around, having a good time, and that that's a good thing for the holiday season, right? Let's drop down on this seriousness a little bit and just have some fun.
Yeah, I think, it's a holiday season. We're all getting ready. A lot of us who are students are in winter break. So I think it's a nice lighthearted event, especially with all the drama that's been going on, like in DVD community and in
Right,
the
right.
world lately. I think it's just a nice, like, lighthearted, fun thing, like, a fun, silly thing to do. You can play with a snowman, get a couple of like event items. I really enjoy it, but I also only play Survivor. I haven't played Killer yet, so I don't know. Maybe I'll hate it when I play Killer.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's just I always wonder if someone's in the snowman, so I have to check. I can't just
Yeah,
walk
it's
by
like,
because
is there a
it's
person here?
right. And but it's I don't know. I still think it's really cool. But let's talk about the game. So what we got going on today?
Well, you know what? I can tell you exactly what we've got going on. Let's talk about first where we are going to be playing on, what our map is going to be today. So today we are going to be playing on Grim Pantry, the backwater swamp. It is a larger map with a 9 hook minimum and a 14 hook maximum. It is the Immortal Alliance home map, so they will have the home field advantage today. I really thought this was one of our like sub maps for a Macmillan map, but no, these guys really just are out here having to play on swamp map. So like,
Oof. You know,
kudos,
swap
kudos.
maps are definitely interesting. I think on both sides. If you get caught early, it's very bad, but it's kind of easy to hide, right? There's a lot of stuff kind of obscuring views and just a lot of dark shadows. Um, but you do kind of get those free large bird information, right? Either depending on which swamp map, right? You got the boat and then you got the dock, but either one, they're there. You kind of know it right away. Um, but it's Immortal Alliance versus Six. I think this is going to be very interesting. Six has been doing very well as of late, and Immortal Alliance picked up a bunch of new people, so we can see how that changes their performance, hopefully for the better, right?
Yeah, I think they pulled out a win in their last game last week, if I remember correctly.
It could be. Yeah, I
Or
think they
people.
did.
Yeah, I think they did. I had to think about it. My brain's a little slow. It's a little early for me, but yeah, so they pulled out their first win last week, and hopefully we can see that trend kind of continue today of having another really strong performance. However, Six is like no team to, slack around. They've proven that they are one of our undefeated teams as of right now. So I think they're going to be a really tough challenge, honestly, for any team that has to play against them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be definitely a proving moment, right? So they do have their first win, but they're going to want to continue that trajectory, and then Six is not going to want to get their first loss tonight either. So knowing that it's a swamp map, I don't know that you bring any S tiers. It's just that not super well for them. It's kind of those like A B tiers that do well. So who do
Yeah,
you think they're bringing?
that's a really good question. I'm always really bad at this game. So, I don't know. I think you're right. I think, I mean, so like Nurse and Blight, it is a large map, and they do have the ability to, traverse the map, with their speed. I think they can actually handle the size of the map the best out of most of the killers. However, Blight's got really wonky collision here, and I mean, it's still, even for Nurse, it's still a large map. There's a lot of stuff for her to get caught on. I don't know, man. That's a hard guess. But how do you deal with a large map like this? And I think it depends on how the teams are looking at each other. I think I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if IA was looking at bringing an S tier, probably Nurse over Blight, since Blight's collision is kind of questionable on this map. But I could see maybe one of our other more mobile characters, or we bring her up a lot. Plague, I think we've seen Plague do really well on this map. She has the pressure to kind of like be in one place, but with the corrupt purge, or like, the vomit mechanic, she can also put pressure on another side of the map at the same time. And that's really good for dealing with a large map such as Grim Pantry. But what do you think? Who would you like to see actually? And who do you think we will end up seeing?
So Six will be killing first, right? Since it's Immortal Alliance's map.
Yeah.
So I think Six is gonna test the waters. I don't think they're gonna come out swinging. I don't think they feel that they need to. Um, I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of Freddy or a demo or someone that can just get from point A to point B a little bit quicker, or someone that has some kind of secondary mechanic like a pinhead. It could even be a huntress here, even a twins. Honestly, there's a large variety of killers that can do decent on this kind of a map, as long as they pressure things correctly and really stop the gen progression. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see corrupt and deadlock.
Yeah, Corrupt and Deadlock, that's been a really popular combo this season. But it looks like everybody is ready, so we're gonna get ready to start our first game and get that answer to our question. I am very, very excited. I see what you guys are saying. You play Ghostface, duh, yes. Anyway, let's check our map offerings and our killer offering. It looks like we have everything set. Good job to both of our teams for starting off on the right foot there.
So why don't we talk about how the killer gets points?
Absolutely. Let's talk about it, you guys. All right. So, how is our killer earning points today? Well, obviously, you got to get those hooks. However, the third hook, that death hook, is worth more points, and progressions are worth 1 point less. So, you don't want to progress people if you can help it. The seventh and eighth progressions are going to be worth 1 point each flat. A 4K garners you an extra 2 points. So, if you want to get ahead, you got to get those 4Ks. Entity kills are going to have special conditions, as well as Moris, or any other like pyramid heads built in Mori, I guess. But it looks like we're gonna cut our video short there. If you guys have any questions, check !rules in chat, because our game has started. We got those quick load times today, baby.
There it is, Freddy called it.
Freddy. A very interesting choice, I think, but another killer who can handle the size of the map, especially with a little bit of setup here.
Yeah, I think that specifically Freddy gains a lot because he has that extra mechanic, like I was talking about, the ability to teleport and the dream snares and putting people in states that kind of change the way they perceive where he is, right? And that's a very good stun right
Ooh,
off the bat, right in the
get it
beginning.
done,
And
stupid.
yeah, I feel like Freddy's kind of just letting that pallet go because honestly, under there, that's one of the most annoying pallets in the game. So if you get rid of that early, that's very good. We do see another survivor on a gen running towards the pier right now. He just fell asleep, so that means everybody is currently asleep. Does get his
Yeah,
first hook,
definitely.
not hook hit. It looks like, oh, nice window. I was gonna say I didn't know if the pallet or the window was there, so that was a very good decision by L right here as we see them wasting Freddy's time. So hopefully someone is on a gen on the far side. Uh, there it is. That was the one I was expecting to see go, and that's good. First
And
chase, one down, one gen.
not bad, and we do see a really nice balanced landing play there to build some distance, but not quite enough as our first survivor goes down for that first gen. However, both events did happen before our corrupt intervention went down.
Yes, and that's the value you want. If your corrupt goes through and you don't get someone down, that's detrimental. And we do see they do get rid of a totem, and we will see that looks to be the undying. 'Cause
Yep,
I
can
hear a
confirm
little
that was
regestion.
our Undying that went down first.
So I think what the play here is that Freddy's going to pressure these two gens simultaneously. Oh, I was going to say while keeping them on the hook, but I guess they snuck by under the pier.
Sneaky, sneaky survivors, absolutely getting that unhook, and it looks like Freddy's gonna just wait out. No, not quite counting it right, I guess.
I was going to say it looked like he was going to bait it out, but
Yeah, you had
chose
us
to
both
swing before the
fooled.
drop. That was an interesting choice because as long as you're counting, you shouldn't be tricked by that. So it looks like he's gonna fake on the dock and push under this tall tower right here to get the down, and hopefully this does not have the D strike this early with 4 gens remaining.
However, getting the D strike out this early in the game would be pretty good for our killer.
Well, that would be super huge for Freddy. It would just be very bad for them because he would have no fear of picking up anymore.
And I do want to note we did actually have a 5 point penalty on 6. That's why you see that negative number there. We'll talk about our penalties and what happens later and what might have caused that after the game.
All
You see
right,
that
so
deadlock in action, I'm pretty sure, because we have a ruin or not ruin. Corrupt intervention is long gone by now.
correct, yeah, and we do see that there is a ruin in play with the. You can hear the gens regressing. Um, he does have a very strong. It looked like a 3 gen over in that corner, so I'm not sure why he chose to leave it this early. But trying to pressure some of the survivors, I guess. He knows that 2 are here, so that means that the other 2 should be over there working those gens, knowing that he's not over there, right?
Yep, he's gonna have a pretty good idea of what at least half the survivor team is doing, which doesn't bode well for them if IA wants to keep this lead that they've been given with the penalty.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Freddy is actually taking this chase. I think he's just trying to tunnel out and get them gone, so it'll be a 3-on-1. Which is not a bad idea. But he's also wasting a lot of time on the pier right now. I mean, on the dock. So he needs to get this down relatively quick. There we go.
Ooh, and we see a misplay at the pallets. So asking you shall receive. We will see that down come in pretty quickly here, which will be an early elimination as long as Ace doesn't have decisive strike anymore, which I think that timer would have been long gone by now. And as we've talked about before, once you're down to 3 survivors in the match, the game completely changes. So this is going to be huge for 6. However, we do see our third gen finished in the distance with a gen next to it getting deadlocked.
Yeah, and as you'll see, that was one of the gens within his tight 3 gen. Like I was saying, I was surprised that he left. So now there's 2 on each side of the map, which gives the survivors a ton of pressure on the killer because now he has to maintain 2 areas of the map rather than 1, right? So as he's waiting for this deadlock to go away so he can get the dry kick, but he must forgot he has ruin. So uh, I think he's just hoping to catch someone off right here after getting injured on dark.
And we do see Scratch marks up here, not quite finding a survivor, but our chase music has started, so they're nearby, and there they are. Ooh, swing and a miss on that drop, though.
Yeah, that I think this is very interesting because now you see that Dark has already been healed, and we do hear that ruin. So now we know that two are over here. I would think that they would have been on the other side, honestly, uh, doing that reset and pushing a gen while they were wasting time over here.
Yeah, we do see a reset did come in, but I don't know. Ooh. Oh, I'm so scared to say it. A really beautiful palette stun from Claudette there. I didn't even think she was gonna get that. So really nice on her part. As looks like our killer is just gonna kind of patrol this gen here, knowing that this is probably where they've got the most progress. So it's gonna take them some time to catch up in other places.
Yes, I think that was the Zarina, and she attempted to do the flashlight, the firecracker blind, but she threw it a little late, so Freddy was able to look away at the last second. But again, they're gonna, use that middle pallet and abuse it so they can keep pushing this gen. And I think right now, Ruin is doing more harm to Freddy than good, right? Because it's not gonna allow him to regress this gen any quicker. So every time they touch it, it's almost canceling it out right now.
Yeah, definitely. And we see our fourth generator get it complete across the map. We've only had one elimination so far, and I don't think we've had any hooks on anyone else. So our killer really needs to commit to this chase here and try to get it down. I think puppy guarding that generator kind of hurt him.
I agree, and I said it already, but I think the first big mistake was allowing that gen on the pier to go because there was two right there. So I don't know why you leave that. So now, like I said, now he has a lot of work to do. He has three survivors, one injured, one gen remaining, two on this side, one on the other side. I think this is where they can actually start to punish him if he does not choose to really take chases, because he has seemed to be hit and take off, but he needs to down someone.
Yeah, he's going to need to commit here. Try to catch somebody off guard here. Looks like we're gonna start chase with Zarina again at that pallet. Gonna use it this time. I don't think we quite got the stun there though.
Yeah, it did stun him, but he chose not to go around. But he's just trying to protect this one gen right here. You would hope the team is on that far gen doing something to it while he's watching this one.
Yeah, fingers crossed our survivors are smart enough to recognize that Freddy's gonna kind of keep an eye on this one, so they should be putting pressure elsewhere. Faking the teleport to try to see if maybe we can get a notification of where they are on a blown or on a missed skill check, but so far no luck. You kind of see scratch marks, I believe, off by the underside of the that like building area, but we do see the reset coming across the map, so our survivors are using their time very carefully.
Yeah, and Freddy's trying to, allow this gen to regress a little bit so to take some of that pressure back. But they are doing a very good job of kind of making sure he stays here, and they're keeping an eye on if he's faking the teleport. So he had to see there. I was gonna say he had to do it.
Yeah, he did commit to that teleport in particular, but the survivor was smart enough to get to the pallet, throw it down, and buy herself some time to get the heck out of that upper area. And I guess we're going to take chase with our Claudette up in this pantry area. Not a terrible place, I think, but I know these windows can be kind of risky. Ooh, we are going to get the dead hard to get to that pallet, and now we're going to play pallet chicken with Claudette here.
Yeah, I think this is where he gets his down that he really, really
Yep.
needed.
Yep.
And hopefully there's a close hook in proximity so he doesn't have to, really waste time getting to a hook so they don't pop that gen right here. That this is the one right here that they're working on right now.
Yeah, he will, however, get to hook next to this. Ooh. And it looks like, I don't know if this was the gen they finished, but I mean, these survivors are gutsy, finishing that right under his nose there as he's trying to hook their teammate.
Yeah, it was that one because you would have seen the bubble in the distance. So they were very brave just to sit on that, and now they're going to try to do the old unhook hit me game. So
Yeah.
if Freddy can get the body block correctly, he should be able to get the hit and down this person. But he has to get the body block right.
Yeah, it does look like we are going to be playing a little bit of this waiting game here. Our survivor asking very nicely, and Freddy just not game there. And you guys will see the correction. The wrong penalty was given for the penalty that happened. So the issue was a killer or the killer being used is not on the roster as a killer. So that is a negative 10-point penalty.
Yeah, so what I think had happened is that this person is on the roster as a survivor, but not as a killer. So they were not registered to play both roles. I think that's what is happening right here. So that's where the penalty is going to come from.
It could be. We're still double checking that with our ref and our other point keepers. We will have more information on that for you guys as soon as we get it all figured out. But I think that is currently why the points stand as they are and why we have a point deficit in favor of IA here with 6 in the negatives.
So I think right here they're gonna try to hook them, I would think, far away, to force the survivors to come back if they want to get the 3 out. And I don't remember if Ducky was hooked yet, so this might be a fresh hook 2 stage.
This is going to be a fresh hook for our killer, which is going to be really good for them because they got to make up those points for the roster mishap. But I mean, if he can secure the kill here, that's about as good as you can expect kind of our lower tier killers to do anyway if they have a really good performance against our comp survivor teams. So this could be this could be really good. The survivors are injured, so I'm going to assume since they haven't left yet, they're probably going to reset. I wonder if this is going to be a deliverance play because we saw a really clutch one last week, but not entirely sure. So I guess we just have to play the waiting game with our survivors.
I'm not sure
here.
if Ducky unhooked anyone.
I'm also not sure on that one.
But I think what they're gonna try to do is come in for the body block grab. So one's gonna take the hit, one's gonna grab. Yeah, that's what they're doing. The body block grab.
Yeah.
And we do see the broken status on Ducky, which is gonna tell me second wind.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a second wind on the unhook.
Freddy really needs to take this hit right here. Yep, let them go. I think if he can body block them long enough, he might be able to get a 2K to the entity. He might be able to get the 2K to the entity. He's gonna get the 2K to the entity.
Oh no! And unfortunately, our survivor spent a little too much time trying to save their teammate because Freddy gets 2 whole deaths to the entity, which will be the hook state plus the corresponding hook state plus progressions for our killer.
That's huge. That is huge for them.
Huge for 6, especially coming into this game with a negative point deficit because of the roster issue they were having. So I don't think we've seen that yet on Vigos either. I think this is the first time we've seen actually not just 1, but 2 survivors get taken by the entity because they couldn't make it out of that gate in time.
You know, he did a really amazing job right there at the end, using his body to kind of force the survivor not to go where they wanted to go, and that alone caused that. It went from a 3 escape to a 3 death in seconds. That was great. I loved seeing that. That was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, talk about using your surroundings to your benefit, including your own body. Our killer here really showing that they know how to use their assets to their best potential, I guess.
Yeah, and you know, that also shows you, right, what greed can do to you, especially in a competitive setting. They had the 3 out. They didn't need to come get that first person. They could have just left. You know, take the 2 and just go. But instead, they try to get the 3, and again, they had the 3 out, I don't know why they tried to body block the Zarina there, because hopefully they still had borrowed time. It wasn't 12 seconds, so they should have let them take the hit, catapult them out. But man, that is a great, great way to see that end. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, that was a really, really surprising and also really exciting. That was cool to see. Um, For the first time in this season. Yeah, I haven't seen that before. So good on our killer for taking advantage of, again, the survivors being a little greedy, trying to, I mean, taking the risk, obviously, good on them to try and get all their teammates out. Unfortunately, the hook was just a little too far. They didn't have the other gate prepped. I think it was an even amount of distance to either way. So really, really risky with the reset coming in after our timer had already gone down past the halfway mark, even.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a very smart play on the Freddy to bring them over there. Um, but again, I think they should have just took the two. That cost them a lot more in the end. This
Yeah.
is especially with the point penalty already there, to have it be a 2 point game now because you chose to go for greed. I mean, that's got to make you feel a little bit bad, right?
Yeah, I think IA is gonna have to play really carefully when we get to that fourth round to make sure a mistake like that doesn't happen again. But I mean, valiant effort on their part to try to leave no man behind. But sometimes when it comes to comp DVD, you gotta leave your friends behind. You gotta let them make that sacrifice.
Exactly, exactly. And so that begs the question now, what do you think IA is going to bring? Because now they know, okay, we are only up 2 points after they had that massive penalty. So what are you thinking as IA right now?
I think IA is gonna really want to put the pedal to the metal here because as we've talked about before, Six is still one of our undefeated teams as of right now, unless this set of four proves differently. So a 2 point lead, it's not a lot in any circumstances, especially with the way that Vigos works, with our scoring system. So I think they're really gonna have to step on the gas if they want to expand on this lead.
Yeah,
And
I
also that's
think.
knowing, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna, that's also knowing that the survivors on Six are particularly strong. They're kind of crazy.
Right. So just
And
so everyone's aware,
mhm.
-10 for that killer offense, and it is not a resettable offense. Okay? So the points will stay as they are, and the game will continue forward. There will not be a replay. Um, I think that IA has to come out strong here right now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely needs to probably pull out, maybe not the big guns, but they need to pull out something really strong if they hope to expand on or at least at the very least maintain this lead. And I don't think we'll see, I don't know, Six doesn't seem like they're going to be prone to any misplays, so IA is going to have to be really on point with how they play these next two killer matches, especially going into back-to-back killer matches.
Right. I think what I would do is I'd bring, because at this point, right, it's a very close game, but you also know that you're going against stiff competition. So I would bring our strongest killer for this next one. And if we can't get a big lead off of that, then you don't waste another strong one after that, I don't think. But I also don't think you come into this and test the waters. I think you come out swinging, try to put some more points on the board before you get to your last killer round, because killer side's where you can get the most points.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely don't want to. I know in the earlier parts of our season, we were kind of like, oh, the first two games is kind of testing the waters, seeing how you measure up against the other teams. But now we're on game 5. We're nearly halfway through our season. So I think the time for testing the waters is over. You need to start being confident. We've got track records. We've seen how all of these teams play. You're going to have to start being a lot more confident to make the best decisions because you can't be hoping that the last two games are where you're going to have your win. Because we've seen games come down to the last two games, and it's anyone's game at that point, and you don't want to be in that position because it's really uncomfortable to have to fight that hard all the way
Right.
through.
I agree. And to see such a small thing spiral like that to cause a 3 death, I don't think they take any more risks the rest of this set. I wouldn't. I think you have to play it safe, and you need to really make sure communication's like spot on. You can't allow those
Absolutely.
kind of things to happen again.
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely that the time for making mistakes is honestly was over before this set even actually started. So, hopefully IA is going to be a little more careful going forward. They did have the grace of the negative 10-point penalty. That gave them a little cushion there, that even though such a catastrophic event happened, they were still able to secure the lead.
Right? Imagine had there not been a penalty, this would be an 8-point game in the other direction. So they have to really keep that in mind and know that they're not slouches. We can't go easy on them. We need to bring our best right now. This is our map, right? We need to
Yep.
prove it's our map and show them what we've been working on and just go at them. Especially knowing this is one of the undefeated teams and that you have a 10-point penalty on them, giving you the potential to give them their first loss. I don't think you do anything but your best right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so yesterday, if you guys caught our game, our end game, our post match chat, our interview with Domo yesterday, we kind of asked like, how did they feel about the nurse pick that came out to play against them? And they're like, well, we kind of practice against a lot of S tiers. So I wonder, with these high seeded teams, do you think they do need to bring out like their best, but do you think that an S tier is going to be the actual best choice? Because I feel like these teams are going to have practiced against a lot of really good S tiers. So I wonder, like, is that the best choice here? And if it's not, what do you bring? What do you consider strong enough to bring here?
So I think it depends, right? So if you have a really strong nurse, it doesn't matter how much people practice against them. If your nurse is strong, she'll still do work. But let's say your nurse is not as strong as you would like. I can see them bringing a Freddy to answer back Freddy for Freddy. Like I said, a demo. Um, Huntress on here is okay. Doctor on here is okay. Wraith's okay. Um, I just can't think of anyone that really stands out as like this is a good pick other than your S tier right now. Um,
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you. The map plus the team that they are going against, I think IA is kind of forced into a tricky situation here. Unless, I don't know, maybe they've got like a really cracked Demogorgon, or they've been hiding like a really cracked, I don't know, Huntress up their sleeve. I think they might be in a tough position with what is feasible to bring here.
right, and we've seen killers that you don't typically think of do really well. Like I said, Pinhead has been doing really well lately in the comp scene, and
Yeah.
it's just because it's a whole nother thing you have to worry about, right? You have to worry about the chain hunt, you have to worry about the box. Um, I'm not sure that he gets a ton of value on this map in particular, but I wouldn't be surprised if they answer Freddy for Freddy. I would say they would have to either do that or bring something that it might not be an S tier, but they need to bring their strongest killer, whatever that may be.
Yeah, you need someone with either high mobility or who can put split pressure in different places. I don't know if Twins does very well on this map, but Twins has been a really strong option in our season thus far. So Twins, I mean, that's pressure in two places at once, so that might be an option we see here. Spirit, even with her nerf, she's still got the mobility you kind of need to deal with this map. If they have a really good nurse is always a good option. And this would be a team I would pull like a stronger option out against if you have a really good one.
Yeah, I think Twins on here is not terrible, but there's a
I don't
lot
think it's
of
the most
environmental
viable.
things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things for Victor to, bounce off of or get stuck on, and I just, I mean, it's not possible, but I just don't see it. A doctor on here, I've seen some doctors do really well here, just because of denial and information gathering.
Yeah, information is huge in a game like this. So I think Doc, even if you don't catch anyone in your static blast, that's still information, right? Like, okay, well, there's no one in
Mhm.
the like immediate area, so we're gonna go, I don't know, pick a direction, check over there. We'll probably find
Yeah,
somebody.
I'll be excited. I mean, a clown on here isn't terrible either, but I have not seen a lot of really good clowns lately.
Yeah,
And
I think Clown just doesn't have the map pressure, really.
right, I mean, if you bring his cigar box, it helps for people hiding. Um, but this map is like a square, right? So it's very long and very wide, with a lot of objects on the perimeter and a little bit of stuff in the middle, which seems to be the trend, right? They don't really put too much in the middle of these maps lately. But I don't know. I mean, I'm expecting them to bring their strongest, whatever that may be. And it'd be interesting because like if you bring a Bubba, right, and you just want to get 2 kills, you can definitely do that. But I think they need to try to for a 4K.
Yeah, I think you know, good enough 2 kills isn't gonna cut it here. If IA wants to keep this lead, they're gonna have to pull out, the best that they've got. Because again, as we stated before, six is Survivor Squad. They're no joke. They're very strong. So
Yeah, I think this is an uphill climb on both sides, right? So six is gonna have to really, really do their thing to get that points to flip, and then IA really needs to stop them from doing objectives. That's why I say you got to bring your best, or at least something that will slow the game down.
yeah, something. I mean, and they're probably gonna have to have a very specific perk build out to help get some of that slowdown. To help get that slowdown down. I was
All right,
trying
it
not to
does
say
look
down
like we're
twice.
ready. Get the slowdown down.
Get the
Yeah,
slowdown down. I'm only a little redneck. It's fine.
that's okay. Um, But let's talk about how survivors get points.
Yeah, let's make sure that we have all of our offerings set correctly. I did say map offerings earlier, guys. Sorry, it is the blueprint offerings. Our survivors need to be bringing the bloodied blueprint, and our killer needs to be bringing the cut coin. Looks like they did their part. So let's talk about it. How are our survivors getting those points? We've already talked about how the killer got his points, kinda. I mean, the queue was kind of fast, but let's see what we can get through here with how our survivors for 6 are going to make up for that huge penalty. So, how do our survivors gain points? Well, obviously, doing generators will garner you some amount of points, up to 3 points for that 5th generator. However, your big ticket items, it's going to be your escapes. An escape for the first one is 1 point, the second one is 2 points, but your third escape, 4 points. That fourth escape, 6 points. So, an entire 6 points. If you can escape with 2 or more hook states remaining, you also get extra points for that. It does look like I am going to have to cut it short here again, though, because we are starting our game. So if you want to know more on our rules, check !rules in chat. But we called it, folks. It does look like Charlotte and Victor Deshays have entered the chat.
Oof. You know, I want to see. I'm hoping that this is a really good twins main because, like as I said, there's a lot of stuff to be in the way here. A lot of things for them to use. And there you go. Victor's dead already. That's what I'm saying. There's so much to use against them here. I wonder if this is. I feel like this is them testing, right? I hope this is not them bringing their A game. Um, I think they're gonna just try
However,
to see how they do and maybe save that strong one for after this if they can do decent.
yeah, however, you will note that that is going to be resources off the table, and Victor can very easily hop over those pallets once they're down. So I think 6 needs to be a little careful here about their resource usage as well in dealing with the twins.
Yeah, and the thing about Victor. is he is so fast, right? He can get around the map where Charlotte, she has to kind of, she's just the powerhouse, right? So she's gonna try to find the survivor that Victor latches onto, and it does look like she hears a gen, so she chooses to not go after the one holding Victor, which is kind of interesting. Um, but it's not unheard of, to spread that pressure around. We do see Washed getting hit and running towards the tall tower. So you would think that Lincoln and Rizu are on a gen on the other side, right?
Absolutely. And I think we will. You guys did hear that Ruin in play as we were pushing survivors up again. A weird choice, but not a terrible choice to kind of spread that pressure out. You know that Victor is preoccupying one survivor, so you can go and pressure another, which is what we talked about, needing that split pressure to keep up with the survivors on a large map like this. Ooh,
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 very nice
the
hit. And
snipes.
oh, I thought they were going to get the crush there, but they waited too long. They would have crushed him had they thrown the pallet. So now Charlotte's going to try to make her way over there and try to keep them from picking them up.
And we will see Victor go down, but Charlotte is already on her way, not too far off. Gonna play it. I was like,
Nice
oh, you're
bait,
not
nice
gonna pick up
bait.
right there. There's no way. Yeah. Nice bait on that.
Ooh, I feel that was a interesting hit. I felt like they were just far enough out, but
Little seemed like a
they do get the hit.
little, yeah, it seemed like a little bit of Pocos using nice to use Victor there to kind of block the survivor from being able to get to the pallet to drop it. Very smart on the part of our killer L here.
Yeah, I think they used it for information and to try to put an obstacle between them and the pallet, which was a very good idea. And now they have Victor on top of the shack, so they can actually leave and know if whenever someone tries to go over and pressure that area.
Yep. However, we do see two gens done. We have two injured survivors and one on hook. But you'll notice, folks, Ruin is gone.
Yeah, Corrupt is over and Ruin is gone. Um, so it makes you wonder what else they have up their sleeve, right? We already know 3 of the 4 perks, so it'd be interesting to see where this goes for the rest of the game.
Absolutely. And kind of not really finding anyone over in this basement area. So Charlotte's going to have to go looking for some
And
survivors.
they snuck right by Victor. Like with the crouch mechanic, you can get by him, and they do get the kick. Oh no!
An
So
unfortunately awkward place for Victor to try to be leaping. Can't really make the distance to avoid getting kicked by the survivors on the stairs there.
yeah, stairs are definitely a detriment for Victor. You do see that he's going to go after Washed again since he's the only injured survivor. So he's going to try to get that down again.
Yeah, and if he can get this down here, that'll be huge. He does indeed get it. Back revving well, back revving kind of. I don't really know what else to call that. Even though it's not really a back rev.
Yeah. That's I
But
don't know if
right
there's a
upon him.
terminology for that, but it was a nice little Victor jump, and he's keeping him there so he knows if anyone's going there. But again, they already got past Victor once using that crouch
Mhm.
mechanic. So,
However,
ooh,
it is dangerous, even with a crouch mechanic. If Charlotte gets an itch, she can just switch back immediately. So, and this is also good because we're waiting out a potential decisive strike since we don't know where that is yet.
yeah, I think that's part of their goal, and I think it's to pressure. Right, they need pressure, so they're keeping this one down and pushing others away. And that's the best they can do right now. As I said, this is not an ideal map for twins, and we do see the 4th gen go already, and I think this is what Wash's second hook.
This will be the second hook for Wash, and I think only the second hook for our killer. So pretty tough position to be in. Nice to be able to secure this far corner hook. You're gonna have to drag a survivor all the way back there, away from your last 3 generators. And you've got kind of like a really loose 3 gen over here, but Charlotte doesn't have the speed to really make any use of this.
Yeah, she's gonna use the pop in hand to kind of regress this gen that was literally almost done. So you have to think they're going for the save right now. And I don't know what they swung at there. That was
Mm,
interesting.
they caught Wash at that corner the first
Mm.
time. Saw the caught washed there. So
So they
not
did
not
they
a
did get the
bad.
heartbeat. Oh, and
Oh,
they saved right under nose.
yep, saved right under nose, and it looks like we're gonna try to maybe chew through the potential BT, but not gonna quite make it. So, which unfortunately, not being able to get the kick on Victor is gonna be dangerous for Washed here because that's just waiting out borrowed time to down him.
I'm surprised that Lincoln wasn't right there to get the kick because Charlotte is on the other side of the map. So,
You
and there are
do
three
see
heartbeats.
3 heartbeats over there, though.
Yeah, they're gonna get this pickup before she gets there, and they're probably
Yeah,
gonna body block
unfortunately.
to get him out of the way.
Unfortunately, Charlotte is just
Yep,
a
there's the
little
body block.
slow. Yep. Oh, bold to go onto Victor here, I guess, to get one survivor out of the way by attaching and trying to look for the other 2 with that killer instinct.
Yep,
Oh,
I think they just figured they have to do it, might as well. But they're doing a really good job of trying to keep Washed alive right now to try to secure the potential for the 4 escape. I think is what they're trying to do right now, and that's the D strike bait, 100%
that's
D strike
probably the
bait.
D-strike bait, absolutely. Oh,
Oh,
no! Oh, I really hope that was no D-strike and just, like, that wasn't a case of somebody missing the decisive strike, because that's gonna be pretty tragic if it is. We do see the crush coming on Victor across the map. Actually, the last gen proc while we weren't looking, and that was actually the proc for, I believe, No Way Out.
it was, in fact, the proc for No Way Out. And maybe they were just trying to feign the D strike to kind of hope that she would walk away. But they're gonna again employ those body blocks to take up some time and not allow another down. So
Yeah,
Lincoln is gonna try
definitely.
to pull away from that door, I think, because I believe the survivor was over there ready to start working on it.
And we will see another down here. Unfortunately, not enough unique hook states for No Way Out to last for very long. Ooh.
But, oh, what?
Uh-oh. Wait a second.
What was the point of that? That's interesting.
Unless there's a Blood Warden, I don't know.
Yeah, no, we already know all 4 perks,
Yeah, we
so
already know all 4 perks, so I don't really understand. Oh, maybe to try to force the timer,
yeah.
to force maybe the survivors into a situation where they try to get the unhook or are forced to leave. Not a
I, th-
terrible idea.
I think I don't think that was the right move because now they can just literally heal up, do the double body block, and they'll get the 3 right here. Um, Instead of making them have to go grab it, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I think I can see kind of, I think, what our killer was going for here, again, was trying to force the survivors to make a choice on what they're going to do. We do see that reset coming across the map. However, this hook is not far enough away from the door um, for this plan to really work. Oh, and we do see our survivors coming in.
Yeah, and
Oof,
Charlotte is
yeah,
so far
Charlotte is
behind.
too far. Charlotte is
Yeah,
way too far. I would have blocked the hook completely with Charlotte's body. You
yep,
can't escape
that's
with
gonna be
Victor,
a 3.
however, so nope,
Yep,
yeah, it's not gonna
that's
matter.
a 3.
Yep, that
Yeah,
is a 3
because
out for 6 there.
yeah, while you have Victor attached, you have a Blood Warden effect, but as soon as you break him, the Blood Warden effect's gone. And I know that some people think that the Blood Warden effect lasts a little bit longer than it does, but oh, so Washed did have the D strike. I mean, I'm guessing they didn't get the to finish, and
Oh.
like it probably ran out
Yeah,
by the time they jumped in.
We're seeing from Washed in chat that, unfortunately, the timer on DS ticked down, so it was not a missed decisive strike, it was just a missed opportunity to use decisive strike due to the time restrictions of the perk. Unfortunate.
And
Very
we do
unfortunate.
see that point swing I was warning about. So 6 is up 8 points after that game. So I think, like I said, I don't think Charlotte was the pick there. Twins are not very strong in a map that has that many obstacles. It's very easy to waste the time of them. And every
Yeah.
time you attach Victor, you need to make sure Charlotte is within a range. Um, and then you saw that happen at the end. I think if instead of sitting on Victor that whole time, if they would have moved Charlotte closer towards the door, they probably could have got another down. But
Yeah. I mean, again, I think what should have happened there, honestly, is if you're gonna hook that close to the door, why put Charlotte so far away from the hook? Might as well body block. Use Charlotte as an obstacle on one side, Victor as an obstacle on the other, because even if you pounce on somebody with Victor, coming in with the two survivors coming in there, you pounce on one with Victor, switch to Charlotte immediately, try to get the grab on the other.
exactly. And
But just a unfortunate placement of Charlotte there.
yeah, she was a little bit too far back. But that being said, we now know that 6 again is in the lead. So IA, what are you doing as IA? What, like you tried twins, so you tried to do apply pressure on both sides. It didn't work. What do you do now?
You know, I think if IA wants to bring this back, they've kind of forced themselves into a corner where they need to bring an S tier, and they need to have a really good S tier to at least bring the points close so that maybe their survivors can clutch a win for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, whether that be a blight or a nurse or someone else, whatever is their strongest killer, they have to use it right now if they want this win. There's really no other option. If they allow the points to continue this way, it's going to be too much for their survivors to overcome on the last trial.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see too huge of a point gap, because then you just make it harder on your survivor squad, which does have the least amount of points to gain in that match. So
Right.
giving 6 an advantage, not only in the point deficit, like not only in giving them a huge lead, but also putting them in a position where they can gain more points than you can hope to make up,